All right, man. Detroit Lions beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's talk about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance of notifications. We go live or drop video. Financially, want to support the channel? Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. They win 40-14. You don't really get to celebrate victories like this with the Lions too often. Um, it was one of those games where I said it was one of the crossroad games, similar to the Minnesota game, which had they beat Minnesota earlier in the season, it would have been a telltale sign that it's not SOL anymore. You know, and this is one of those games that they can work towards that not being the same on Lions. Now they're making a playoff push instead of a push to the top of the draft. Obviously, the Rams no longer have Matthew Stafford. Like, he's going to be out for the rest of the season, and Cooper Kupp is going to be out for the rest of the season. So they very much will still get another high draft pick. But, now they kind of making that push. And now, every week right now is for them, it is it's a playoff. It's a playoff. It's a playoffs. That's what the emulation is. It's a playoffs. I think next week they go play not Jacksonville, excuse me. They go play Jesus Christ, Minnesota Vikings. So, now that's a revenge game. You bring them to the crib. It's a revenge game. So now they're gonna have some opportunities to exercise some demons. Moving in Minnesota, the Jets still a good football team. Carolina, Chicago, Green Bay. So it's lining up. Like I said, Minnesota. It's gonna be another game. It's another game in which, it's gonna be a turning corner game. Jets gonna be a turning corner. Every game is a must win if they're gonna make the playoffs. Every game, and then you finish out the last 3 or 4 on the road. But in this game today, to be Pacific, they came out and smacked them in the mouth. Offensive game plan was pretty good. Jared Goff was sharp, 31 for 41, 340, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. That might have been a season high. DeAndre Swift was, he was the Cinderella of the ball today. 14 carries, 62 yards, 1 TD. Almost could have had another one. St. Brown was the stud today. Career high 11 catches, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns. DJ Shark had 5 catches, 98 yards. A lot of people talking about, how he looked different since returning from injuries. He probably was never 100% healthy when he first came over to Detroit. So he wasn't healthy. So he probably needed to kind of start the year on the injured reserve list. That's exactly probably what it was. He probably needed to start the season on the injured reserve list. And now that he's healthy, he look a lot more sure-handed. He look a lot more confident. So he looking totally different. He healthy. So like I said before, even before, he didn't look so confident catching the ball and all that. Him and Jared Goff seemed like they had a great rapport in off-season workouts. You seen the videos on Instagram. I still say bring him back, because it just seemed like they chemistry was so good. He just wasn't catching the ball. And now I think we kind of got an idea of why. Because he wasn't healthy. Now he's healthy. And now him and Goff Goff seemed like he got a great natural rapport with Reynolds, great natural rapport with Shark, and then great natural rapport with St. Brown. So when you start talking about that, and he got great rapport with all 3 of those, that's rare. You throw Jameson Williams in there and they can get used to each other. Like I said, I don't think it's any harm, no foul moving forward with Jared Goff going forward. I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but y'all want to get more mobile at the quarterback, but he seemed to be getting very, very comfortable here with the receivers and their backs. But I get it. I'm mad at a guy like Lamar. Would be mad at a guy like Bryce Young. Seen a little bit of Levis. I'm gonna have a video coming on him sometime next week. So I get it. I get it. Trust and believe me, I get it. But like I continue to say going forward, this team, Brad Holmes seemed to have a really good eye for talent. It's just to the point the talent being available to be healthy. It's not like he getting guys and they getting here and they getting broken up and they getting injured. That's not the case. He driving these dudes and he knowing these guys got pre-existing injuries. That's kind of like, where it's at. That's kind of where it's at with it. But they got explosive receiving core. And I think Jacksonville, I was listening to like Robert Smith, he was calling the game today. He was the old Minnesota running back. And listen to the guy, I forget it was him or the other guy. They mentioned that Jacksonville might have been like riding high coming off that big Baltimore win and was smelling themselves. And I was kind of listening to their pregame, that post-game, rah thing in the in the locker room, and Doug Marrone was saying, we just beat a playoff team and we turned it around. I told you it'd be good. And I think they was kind of riding that high. I was at the MGM Grand last night, and it was a few Jacksonville fans up in there too. So, I think they started to kind of sense that they starting to turn it around. And I thought the game would be a lot more competitive. I believe I picked the Lions to win, but I thought this game would be a lot more competitive. But I do think Jacksonville was kind of starting to smell themselves coming to this game. I do think that. I think coming off that big Baltimore win, it was kind of felt like one of those pivot games. It felt like one of them pivot games. And, for them, Baltimore, then you get Detroit, or we step over Detroit, then we can make a push. You know what I'm saying? That's what it felt like. Like we about to pivot into something great. And it was kind of, and they just, took it for granted. They thought they was going to come in and ride that momentum and step right all over the Lions. And the Lions said, no, man, we focus on making this playoff pushing. They about to get some prime experience. Every game about to be a playoff game if they're going to make the playoffs. Every game going to be a playoff game. So you got to understand that next week is going to be a pivot game for the Lions. To me, I celebrate this and I tell them, and we right on to Minnesota. Then they get past Minnesota, then we right on to who after them, the Jets. We're going to celebrate in the moment, but as soon as that, we got the iPads out. We studying the next opponent. That's the mode they in. That's the mode they should be in. That's the mode they should be in. Real talk. James Houston, a big sack again today. He hurt Trevor Lawrence. I'm glad to see Trevor Lawrence come back and be healthy. He didn't finish because they was getting blew out, but something was wrong. It was getting blew out, but I'm a Trevor Lawrence fan. Loved him coming out the draft. I'm a Zach Wilson fan too. Loved him coming out the draft. I'm not gonna never lie. I thought Jimmy Clausen was gonna be good. My boy busts my balls about that all the time. You thought Jimmy Clausen was gonna be good. I did. Michael Floyd, Golden Tate. I ain't no Notre Dame fan. But I ain't no Notre Dame fan, but I love them teams when they had Golden Tate. I was a huge Golden Tate fan. Everybody thought Michael Floyd was the better receiver. And I like Michael Floyd too, don't get it twisted. But I thought that Golden Tate was the was the better receiver. He ended up having a better career. Michael Floyd fought some demons in his career and stuff, and I'm not gonna get into that. But DeAndre Swift looked healthy a little bit. He looked healthy today. If they're gonna make a push, they're gonna need him. Jamal Williams gonna need a little breather. He looked a little bit slow today, but he gonna need a little breather. So he gonna need a little breather, bro. So don't forget that he gonna need a little breather, and it's time for Jamal Williams to step up. Swift to step up. He stepped up in the running game and the passing game today, but they gonna need him. Jared Goff being precision, they gonna need him. But I think Jacksonville kind of came in this game like they was about to just come in here, ride that momentum. It's the Lions, and they found out the hard way that it's the Lions, all right. They lying this ass whooping on us. And that's what they found out. And that's exactly what they found out. So at the end of the day, they had to fuck around and find out, and they did. But, Ben Johnson still got some learning to do. Ben still got some learning to do. And I'll say it again. Ben still got some learning to do. I think he threw the ball way too much for my liking. In that second half. Even though there was some high percentage short throws, but I think he threw it up way too much for my liking. That was my opinion. I think he threw it way too much for my liking. Just my humble opinion. And some of the runs they was running, I ain't like the misdirections and all that. Just my opinion. Just my humble opinion on that. But moving on, he called a good game though. Some of the throws that he was calling, some of the throws that he was calling, man, they was high percentage throws. They was smart. Now you starting to hear that he's starting to possibly might be in line for some head coaching jobs. Now he's doing a great job here, so that don't surprise me. But he seen what Jared Goff was comfortable. He talked to Jared Goff, looked at the film and what he was comfortable with and what he wasn't comfortable with, and they moved accordingly. They moved accordingly to that. So, but hell of a game today. Say Brown probably was the MVP. Yeah, he probably was the MVP for sure today. But yeah, 40-14. Let me know what you girls and guys think. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance of notifications. We go live, drop video. Financially, you want to support the channel. Cash App, $CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Appreciate the love, support. Let me know what you girls and guys think in the comments section. One time for the one time. RC Sports Talk. Peace.